it's Felicia here. Welcome back to my channel. Got a new segment here. So I am sharing you my journey as a mother, first-time mom with a medically complex kiddo, the real and authentic side. So in this segment, I'm going to share with you my favorites. Out there, you will see so many blogs, so many videos about all the things you need on your registry. But I'm all about the simple items. So my child was in the NICU all the way up to 5 months. And I was able to really lean on our occupational therapist, the staff, the nurses, on the best items to get my child to the next milestone on the developmental side. But also things that helped me with motherhood and to have a smooth transition, whether it be swallowing her, whether it be, transitioning her from one place to the next. So these are going to be toys, books, a little bit of everything. And remember that you do not have to buy the most expensive item for it to be effective. You will see that I splurge on certain items that I feel like I'm going to get a lot of use out of, such as my stroller. It's going to last us for years, so I wanted to really take the time to research and buy a really good stroller. But then there's certain clothes or certain toys or books that I went the cheaper route because she's going to enjoy it for a few weeks and then be over it. So really think through what you're gonna buy. And so I hope this helps. This is gonna be a segment I'm gonna continue to do. And this is the 0 to 3 months, my favorites. So my favorites are in no particular order. We're just gonna go through these. And my first one is books. I love books. My little one has hearing loss, conductive hearing loss. So her vision was just so important early on. And that was one sense that was really heightened. And as a newborn baby, black and white objects, those high contrast objects and colors are all they can really see. And it has to be up close. So I'll say a little link in the blog post that I have up that goes into detail. But this book right here, just a simple black and white book, was so eye-grabbing for my little one. It has great pictures in those contrast colors, but again, black and white colors are pretty much all they can see into a certain point when they start to see colors. So getting a good black and white book will be key. And this is one that she looked at all the way up to 3 months. I would just put it in front of her and she would just stare at it for minutes to hours. So get you a good black and white book. All right. Speaking of vision, staring at things, you gotta get a mirror. Those early months, those early weeks, your little one loves staring at just themselves. My love, she loves staring at herself, so this mirror was key. It has, on the other side, those black and white contrast objects that you can see, whether it be shapes or little people and kids, it's perfect. So you can flip it to either side as a mirror or as this vision board. And what's nice about it is that it has these little strings where you can tie them to your crib. And so my daughter was in the NICU for 5 months. So this was key for us to be able to have it in her crib because mobility wasn't big for us. We weren't able to get her out as often as we wanted to. So by hanging this on her crib, it allowed her to look at herself and then see some different objects. So that whole idea of exploring your body and exploring by vision. So check out this mirror. All right, crib, we're just gonna go with the crib. This mobile, so this is the simplest little mobile. You'll see some out there that look so cute. They go with your room theme. I went with this. It's a Tiny Love mobile, and actually the NICU provided it for us. And what I love about it is that it still has the theme that we're going with. It has these black and white little animals on here, which is those early months I said, that's what they can see. And it's close up for her. It does have music to it and it moves. So she was able to hear something and put her to sleep. And you can put it on 2 different levels. Or you can turn it off and just have it rotating without any sound to it. And so there you go, it's simple, but it also can come off and be attached to the stroller. So it has this little clamp, and now we can take this piece off and remove it and put it on this clamp. So now she can see that visual toys on her stroller. So I love that it's like a 2-in-1, and the whole idea is getting your money's worth. So you can have this on the crib, but you also can have it on your stroller. So just thinking of how you can really spread those dollars and be most effective with your toys and have them last you for months and months. You don't want those toys that are only going to be something you want to look at for or play with for a month. You want something that, you know, she can still look at this for months to come. Whether she's super engaged with it or not, it's still very helpful for her. Okay, more crib items. So this little, she loves this little monkey like hanging crib. It's a giraffe, different animals, but it also has the different textures to it. It makes noise. It has the little monkey here. We hang it on her crib, and it's just more playful toys for her to engage with. We can remove it, and also it's great for her stroller. She loves it. And for us, as I said, being a NICU parent, we wanted those toys that could be easily accessible on her crib. And so this is one of our little go-tos. And we also put it on a little string and hang it over her crib, so it works on her reaching and grabbing for objects. We really want her, as much as she can, build that mobility and start to hit those milestones. So one of them is reaching for toys, batting for toys. So having things that are hanging. And I'll show you a little example, but you just take a string, tie it to each end of the crib, and use these little clasps to put it on there and hang it at a level where she can reach, or even a little bit out of their reach. So they really have to extend themselves. Toys. Okay, so this Manhattan toy was her favorite toy for the first 3 months of her life. I believe it's just because the colorful aspect of it, it makes noise, it has different places where you can grab, it's a lightweight, and it has skinny handles, so as a child and a baby, as a newborn, it's easy for you to hold on to and put your whole hand around. So those early milestones that you want your child to do is not just reach for toys and start to engage with toys, but to transfer them from hand to hand. You want them to shake the toy. You want them to start to explore and put toys in their mouth. So this is also great for a teething toy. So there's so many things that it can be. And my daughter is now almost 8 months and she still plays with it. She still reaches for it. So this is about $10, called the Manhattan toy. And not to get confused with some of those other knockoff toys out there, that actually there's a disclaimer on a few of them. But this Manhattan toy, I'll leave a link for. This one is safe to use and hasn't been recalled. Okay, so one of the things that I did early on was watched a few videos on how to swaddle a baby. I took a class on it, I watched videos, and they tell you all these little swaddle blankets you can get, and I tried it. But a friend of mine gifted me the Swaddle Me swaddle, and it's amazing. It just has 3 little steps to it. So first one is you just put your child into this little cubby pocket, put their legs in there, then you take their arms and fold them this way, and you take each part and wrap them, and it has Velcro around, till they're a little baby burrito. It's so simple. It doesn't come undone because of the Velcro. I have no issues with it. You don't need to watch a million videos. And they have different stages. So this is the 0 to 3 month stage. And if your child starts to get bigger, they have a medium and a large. And then once your child gets to that point where they're a little bit past wanting to be swaddled like this, they have swaddles that have zippers to it. So in my next segment of my favorites for 3 to 6 months, I will show you the step 2 to the Swaddle Me swaddle. But I get so many inquiries about the swaddle that we use. And for my little one, she does trach care. And that is when we clean her stoma and her trach area. So we have to make sure her hands are not in the way because she will grab. And this has been so ideal for us in the hospital when I just used a simple blanket and tried to just tuck her in. She is a mover. She would find a way to get that hand out. And there we are trying to hold her down and do her trach care. So I really recommend the Swaddle Me swaddle. And another little tip is talk to your mom friends. You might look at all these articles out there and blogs, but talk to your friends. They will tell you the things that they bought that they did not need. For example, all my friends told me do not get a Genie diaper pail. So I didn't, and I got these other little pails that are easy to like just dispose of. You don't have to actually have like a diaper bin in your room, and it locks in the smell. So that was great advice for my friends that I probably wouldn't have gone with, because a lot of those articles out there tell you those things that you need, and usually the most expensive items on there. So just go simple. Remember that your child does not know how much things cost. They just want to have fun with their toy, and they will go with the simplest toy that you provide for them. So talk to your friends. All right, another little, we're going to close. My little one was in the hospital, as I said, for 5 months, so we didn't really explore the clothes items as much, but she was a winter baby. So I had a friend who told me about the Moon and Back Hannah Anderson brand, and it's just the quality just holds up so well. Some onesies I had, after a few washes, they just lost their texture, their softness just didn't. It's a good thick material for those winter babies. And also for us, we went with the kimono style, so that snap across style. It's easier for my child, who has a G-tube and a trach and different wires, to get around, but also just for all babies, it just makes it easier access when you're not just having the buttons at the bottom, but at the side. It was easier for her to get on, and I just love this brand, the quality of the brand. This was one that was maybe a little bit more expensive than some other onesies. As I said, splurge on the things that make the most sense. So since she was always in a onesie, I felt like I got my money's worth by how many times she put this one on. So I really enjoyed this brand. Okay, some developmental things. So my child, mobility. We wanted her to start to move around and explore her body more, because being in the crib at the hospital, she was just always a little more in the fetal position. She wasn't able to get up and move around as much because she didn't have me and her father there 24/7. So these little toys, they're little socks, as well as this goes around your wrist, and it's a rattle, but also has a little cute little animals on it, and it just encouraged her to reach for something. So this was around her wrist, or encouraged her to shake her hand to hear it, to try to bring her hand up here so she could look at it. These were on her feet. It encouraged her to bring her feet up to her mouth, bring them closer so she can start to grab at her little footies. So I'll put a link to this, but as she got older, I started to put this little footy on her hand. And so it encouraged her to take this hand and try to get it off. And so it was also working with those cognitive skills and motor skills to be able to problem solve. How can I get this off of my hand? So I always encourage you, find a toy and find multiple ways that you can use that toy, and not just for the standard way that it says. If it's a rattle, okay, great, it shakes, but maybe you can also use it to bat things together. You can explore and use it for other ways and other exercises. So these are great. Amazon find, very cheap. Okay, I'm all about some of the knockoffs. So I heard so much great stuff about the DockATot, and it was like $175, and I tried to find something that was similar, but it was cheaper. And so I found this little baby lounge sleeper that is, I mean, same length of the DockATot, but it was, instead of $175, it was about $75. So this is it. My daughter loves it. At the bottom, you can tie it together, so it gives her that feeling that she's in the womb, and she loves to sleep in it at night or during the day for naps. But then you can open it up and take this buckle out, and now that she's about 8 months, she can spread out and still loves it and is comfortable in it. We use this in downstairs or in our room when she's not in her crib, so she gets that comfort. It's got a very thick little mattress part to it, still soft, so it's easy to transfer around when we go on little small trips. We take this too. It serves as like a bassinet, and again, you can get it for those early months all the way until they're a little bit older. Last but not least is the UPPAbaby Vista stroller. Now this is one thing I had to splurge on because I use it so much and it's going to grow with my family. I went with the Vista
versus the Cruise because it has so much space. So it has a toddler car seat, the bassinet that's great to have your newborn in, but also can serve as something for them to sleep in those early stages if you buy the stand. It has a kickstand as well for the larger kids, and the car seat, the Mesa car seat, is amazing. So I got the whole combo as a set. It's got a very large basket, as you can see right here, that I can store diapers and everything in. And then the wheels. The wheels are very durable, so it's great for sidewalks, some trails. And there's that bassinet. Look how big that is. It's just an amazing set. I love it and so durable.
And that's a wrap for my favorite toys for your kiddo who's 0 to 3 months. I will continue this segment. Next will be my 3 to 6 months favorites. But remember that it's all about just simple items. You do not need to spend a whole lot. Really think through the items that you splurge on and those items that are just essential for your kiddo to hit that next milestone. Think about the developmental aspects to each toy you're buying, and always get creative in how you use your toys. All right, guys, so thanks for joining me. I will be back with more favorites.